to ask you about what's happening in Ottawa with SNC Lavalin. What do you make of the resignations we've seen and of the what's happening inside the federal government?
Well, they're continuing, obviously, to have a vigorous debate inside the government. They continue to do. That's how democracy works. I'm really focused on my relationship with them. You were at the press conference in and around the expanding transmission in Atlantic Canada, the stuff around the immigration number. Those are all positive things for our government.
Are you concerned about what you're hearing and what you're seeing?
That's something they will deal with. I don't get involved in how provincial governments run their respective governments or the national government. I just need to make sure that I make sure Nova Scotia Voice is on the national stage when we need it. I feel good about the positive relationship we've had and the investments that we're receiving.
Justin Trudeau's popularity has been good for you. It certainly hasn't hurt you the last couple of times in the polls. Are you concerned at all about what's happening with the government in terms of your own electoral future and the future of your party?
No, our government will be judged on our own record. We came into power, we were re-elected based on our own record last time, and people will judge us in the next election based on that record.
Do you feel that any of what's happening there might impede the continued work of this government with your government going forward?
Well, they were, the 4 regional ministers are here last Friday. We had a great couple of days. The investments we want to do around strengthening the Atlantic transmission connections, those are all positive things. The immigration numbers that have gone up, those are all positive things. The inter-regulatory stuff. So that work is continuing on, and the national government will, in caucus and cabinet, will deal with their issues.
What do you think of the Prime Minister and his work?
I continue to work. It's been good for Nova Scotia. We continue to see immigration numbers go up. This government worked with us to make sure that we had an Atlantic pilot. We worked with them on getting rid of the barriers between our provinces. Very excited and hopeful we'll see movement on the interties in the region around hydroelectricity. Those are major investments for us, not to mention, when it comes up to the highway deals that we've done and a number of others.
Do you continue to fully support this Prime Minister and what he's doing in his government?
Well, I continue to work day in and day out with this government. I did as recently as last Friday, and look forward to doing so in the months and years ahead.
Do you have any concerns that the Liberal brand is being, like there's any damage is being done to it, considering some of the things that have happened over the last couple of weeks? I know you say it's provincial versus federal, but for some voters, they might not make that distinction. Is there any concern over that?
I said we'll be judged based on our own record, on the record of our government. Whether you're a Liberal government in some parts of this country and others, you have different records, you approach public policy differently. The voters in our respective provinces will make the decision in governments, and I look forward to putting my record out there for people to judge.
How do you feel about the fact that the board has found your government discriminated against 3 disabled people?
Yeah, obviously, we will listen to what the board has said. That's why we've moved towards trying to make sure we put people in the community, in small options homes, moving towards independent living. That has been our goal. Obviously, we're concerned when you hear that 3 people who were into our care, that people felt who were being discriminated against, and I'm sure the department will continue its work to make sure that we put people back in the community to live independently.
But it's not that they simply felt discriminated against. The board ruled that they were discriminated against.
Right, and I think that's obviously a concern. That's why we've said all along, I think those families were fighting for this, which was to move to independent living, and that's what the whole transformation has been about, and we'll continue to do that.
Is your position defendable?
In what obviously they ruled against, that would happen. So
the next stage is that you can file a defense. Is it defensible in your mind?
I think we made it clear that we support independent living, that we want to give all of those Nova Scotians who want to live independently the option to do so, and that will be what we do.
The town of Yarmouth has put out a request for proposal on some renovations needed for inside Yarmouth, the port there. Is the provincial government involved in that, or is that a municipal?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
For the cap.
I haven't seen the proposal, so I don't know what. I'm not sure. I don't know. So I can get the answer, but I'm not sure what's been put out. If the town of Yarmouth put something out.
Yeah, just yesterday asking for they have renovations over the next couple of years for improvements to their side. I mean, we talked about what was needed in Bar Harbor, but this was the first I'd heard that renovations were needed.
I haven't seen it. Not sure.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay.